my wonderful friends. I'm Shams, and I'm so excited you're here today. A brand new adventure, packed with fun, surprises, and a little bit of learning, is about to begin. Are you ready to jump into a magical world with me? Let's open our storybook and see what awaits us. Once upon a time, in a cozy little house, lived a sweet girl named Salma. Salma loved candy more than anything in the world. She dreamed of lollipops, wished for chocolate bars, and imagined rivers of soda. One evening, as she looked up at the twinkling stars from her window, she closed her eyes tight and made the biggest wish she had ever made. "Oh, I wish, she whispered, "that I could live in a place made entirely of candy." She said it with so much hope that a tiny star seemed to wink back at her before she drifted off to sleep. The next morning, when Salma opened her eyes, something felt different. The air smelled incredibly sweet, like vanilla and strawberries. She sat up and gasped. She wasn't in her bedroom anymore. She was in the most amazing town she had ever seen. The houses weren't made of bricks and wood. They were built from giant blocks of milk chocolate, with windows made of sparkling sugar glass. The doors were big, chewy gingerbread cookies decorated with colorful frosting swirls. Salma blinked, thinking she was still dreaming. She reached out and touched the wall of the nearest house. It was real. A piece of chocolate crumbled into her hand. She popped it into her mouth. It was the most delicious chocolate she had ever tasted. She looked down at the ground. The streets weren't paved with stone but with smooth, golden caramel that was just a little bit sticky under her shoes. And where there should have been rivers and fountains, there were streams of bright red strawberry juice and bubbling orange soda flowing gently through the town. The trees had lollipop leaves and gumdrop flowers, and the bushes were made of fluffy pink and blue cotton candy. It was a dream come true. Salma couldn't believe her luck. Her wish had been granted. She was in Candy Town with a joyful laugh. Salma started her delicious adventure. She skipped down the caramel street, taking a big bite out of a chocolate fence post. Yum! Then she saw a garden where gummy bears grew on vines like grapes. She plucked a handful and ate them all. They were so chewy and fruity. She ran to a river of juice and cupped her hands, taking a long, sweet drink. It was so refreshing. Everything she saw, she tasted. She nibbled on a marshmallow lamppost, licked a candy cane signpost, and broke off a piece of a licorice bench to chew on. She was so happy. "This is the best place in the universe," she shouted with a full mouth. She ate and ate and ate, running from one sweet treat to the next, never wanting the fun to end. Salma's spent the whole day exploring and eating. She ate so much chocolate she felt like she could build her own little chocolate hut. She ate so many gummy bears that her tummy felt like a bouncy castle. She drank so much juice that she felt like a big water balloon. As the sun, which looked like a giant lemon drop, began to set, Salma started to feel a bit strange. Her tummy, which had been so happy, now felt heavy and achy. She felt tired, really tired, but not the good kind of tired after playing all day. It was a sticky, slow kind of tired. She decided to sit down on a peppermint rock to rest. She wanted to sing a happy song about her wonderful day in Candy Town, so she opened her mouth to sing. But nothing came out. Not a single sound. She tried again, clearing her throat. Still nothing. She tried to say hello, but only a faint raspy squeak escaped. Her beautiful, clear voice was gone. Panic started to bubble up inside her. What happened? Why couldn't she speak? She looked around, and her happy Candy Town suddenly felt a little less cheerful. It was still beautiful, but Salma was scared. She saw a friendly-looking gingerbread man walking by and ran up to him, pointing at her throat and shaking her head with wide, worried eyes. The gingerbread man seemed to understand. He patted her shoulder gently and then pointed towards a large, grand building on a hill. It looked like a castle made of sparkling rock candy. He gestured for her to go there. Feeling worried but hopeful, Salma walked up the hill to the rock candy castle. Inside, sitting on a throne made of a giant jawbreaker, was a kind-faced old man with a long, white beard made of spun sugar. He was the wise man of Candy Town. Salma approached him and curtsied, her eyes pleading for help. The wise man smiled a gentle, knowing smile. He didn't need her to speak to understand what had happened. "Ah, little Salma, he said, his voice calm and sweet like honey. You have discovered the secret of Candy Town. You wished to live in a world of sweets, and your wish was granted. You were so happy, and you ate everything in sight, didn't you? Salma nodded sadly, a tear rolling down her cheek. The wise man continued, candy is a wonderful treat. It's meant to bring a little bit of joy, a small moment of sweetness to your day. But here in Candy Town, we have a rule. Those who eat too much, who take more than their share, and forget about balance, lose the sweetest thing they have, their beautiful voice. Selma's eyes grew wider. It was her own doing. Everything in life, my dear Selma, is best in moderation. Too much of a good thing can turn it into something not so good. Little candy makes you happy, but a mountain of candy only gives you a tummy ache and takes away your song. He leaned forward and offered her a glass of pure, clear water. This is the only cure, he said softly. And a promise to remember the lesson you've learned today. Salma took the glass of water and drank it all. It tasted surprisingly good after a whole day of nothing but sugar. As she finished, she felt a little better. She tried to say thank you. And this time, a small, quiet voice came out. Thank, ... double quotes. It was weak, but it was there. She was so relieved. The wise man nodded. Your voice will return fully when you return home, and remember the importance of balance. Salma gave him a grateful look, turned around, and walked out of the castle. As she stepped outside, the candy world began to swell and fade, the colors blurred together, and she felt a gentle whoosh, like being carried on a soft wind. When she opened her eyes again, she was back in her own bed. The morning sun was streaming through her window. Was it all a dream? She sat up and cleared her throat. Hello, she said. Her voice was back. It was clear and strong and beautiful. She cheered with relief. She looked over at her nightstand, where she had left a small bowl of her favorite candies the night before. She looked at them, and for the first time, she didn't feel the urge to eat them all at once. She'd picked up just one, unwrapped it, and savored the sweet taste. It was delicious. One was enough. Salma had learned a very important lesson. Moderation is the key to happiness. True joy doesn't come from having too much of something, but from enjoying the right amount at the right time. And our adventure for today comes to an end. What a wonderful story with Salma. She learned that enjoying things in moderation is what makes them special. Don't you worry, because many more exciting adventures are waiting for us right around the corner. To make sure you don't miss a single one, be sure to subscribe to Sham's Adventures. You'll get all our new stories as soon as they arrive. Thank you for joining me, my amazing friends. I can't wait to see you again for our next story. Goodbye for now.